What we're gonna do today, folks, we've been looking all over the internet on YouTube and everything to try to find a rebuilding video to rebuild, to put a carburetor kit in a Holley 4-barrel. Listen here, come off of a 1990 Southwind 464. Now the Southwind was sold as a 1990, but the plate on the side of the motorhome says 1989. So we just kind of going on the assumption that it's a 1989. So we got the carburetor off, and which wasn't that hard, but we've never rebuilt one before and put a kit in it. But it's like they say, there ain't one way to do it, and that's to do it and learn how to go through it and trial and error. That's what you do most things. But anyway, that's what we're gonna do. And this is, like I said, a 4-barrel, and it's got smell like it's got some gas still in it, don't it?
After a little bit.
So what we're gonna do is just start taking this thing apart and then see what all we need to do.
I got the 4 bolts out of it.
Yeah.
You get a hammer probably. Sounds like it's coming off.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a gap in it over here.
Yeah.
Some of these carburetors have different kind of floats, and it's a side mount, you said?
Yeah, this is a side mount.
Side mount.
Mounts on the side there.
Yeah. And some of them are fit the whole thing in there, and I don't know what they're. I think they're plastic or something, but and then that's a
needle valve.
Needle valve that goes right in the top there.
Screws right in.
Screws right in there, and you can see how that works right there. See, that's what lets the gas in and out. And if that float there goes bad, Alto said that it can mess everything up. So
yes, sir.
But we just kind of trying to figure out what kind of kit we need mainly, because
I don't think you have a problem with your float. That's a solid float.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the needle valve.
Yeah.
And
they got that. I will show you in a minute. It's got an O-ring on that needle valve there. See that? And in reading and looking at things, that O-ring right there. If that O-ring goes bad or gets warm, that gas will go around that O-ring, and that can cause. What's happened? What was wrong? This motorhome hadn't been run in about 3 years, and Alto came over and put some belts on it for me, and we got because it needed some belts, and we got all that going and it fired right up once we got the new batteries in it and everything, and it ran. I cranked it up and ran it several times, and then all of a sudden one day it just started cutting out, and it just quit, and I could smell gas, so I figured it was getting flooded somehow or another. And it tries sometime to crank when it's sit for a day or two when it's not flooded, but we just gotta figure out what it is. So that's what we're working on. So we'll check back with y'all in a little bit.
because I got gas and that thing sparks, when you turn it on.
Oh, I know it, yeah.
So you have to be careful.
Well, Snuffy's taking all this in right now. She learned how to do a carburetor. Oh, she ain't too interested right now. She's gone to sleep. So that's what you call a spoiled kitty. But that's what they're for. She's got her little Barbie blanket over there.
Yeah.
Oh, Snuffy. Somebody dropped Snuffy off up here. Snuffy turned out to be a good kitty too. Yeah. That's a magnetic thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got a magnetic bowl here to make sure you don't lose them bolts. So that's good. Alto's taking the other side off here and just kind of inspect it too. Alto says you got a sneaky suspicion it's probably the needle valves. We may not have to go too deep into this thing. Yeah. A little easier on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Same way, yeah. That almost looks like it ain't had any gas in
It's
there.
sure dry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure does.
I'm wondering if that may be the problem right there.
But see how that needle valve,
Yeah, it's sticking up.
well, apparently needs adjusting because it don't go high enough
Uh-huh.
to cut everything off.
Yep.
Let's see.
That might be the culprit right there, mightn't it?
I think it is.
That float there is sitting on the bottom where that other one's not. See that right there? It's sitting right on
Yeah.
the bottom.
Uh-huh.
With this one over here, you can see it's up a little bit, about a few eighths of an inches.
It was just very loose.
Learn by doing, don't you?
Yes, sir. Never been into one of these. The old Lamar Waymire up at Chipley has rebuilt a lot of them. He's a mechanic at DOT.
Yeah. That was his job, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, don't want to pride it too much.
There we go.
It's very clean though.
Yeah.
Carburetor's clean.
Yeah, it is.
Now we can get an idea which gasket set we got to order.
Uh-huh. There it is, right there in the middle.
It's in there.
This is something got off the internet there.
All right. That shows a hole in the middle and this one don't have it. Huh. Looks like it's that back one right there.
Uh-huh.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it don't have all these. Well, this here's got 4. This sucker's like it's glued on there. Some more gas.
Yeah.
Ain't
There's
one.
that hole
Yeah, there's that hole, ain't it?
covered up.
Well, there's 2 gaskets, that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
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 Well, we figured out what the problem is on these floats and that's why we did this, you know, and show them blowing that thing and show them this is where the gas comes in now.
Right there. Just see that to work good
That
there.
works. You blow in it and you adjust the float and the air stops. On this one, listen here. You can still hear it coming out. Yep,
Yep, that's what it is.
you can still hear it. So that means that needle valve ain't working right.
It's not seating.
So
It's not cutting off.
what we did, we went and got a kit from Advanced Auto Parts up close to where we live here. And this kit, it'll fit several different ones, but that's the kit right there. So we just got the needle valves and all that. We're just gonna replace, we're actually not gonna go do the whole thing. I think we decided we're just gonna do the minimal thing because there's no need, like you said, not and going through this whole thing and all. But we are gonna spray it and maybe clean it up a little bit if we can. And of course, Snuffy's interested in it. And,
Yeah, I thought she'd have it cleaned up time we got back.
well, she's been working on it, I can tell. 'Cause,
Yeah,
yeah,
but she's ready to go outside now.
she is, yeah. Old Snuffy. There goes Snuffy.
All right, we'll go
All
out there
right.
and spray her down.
Y'all stay with us. We're gonna spray her down.
Your screws all the way down. And that other adjusts in and out. I don't see them. Here it is. Adjusting nut, locking screw. Alright, invert fuel bowl, float surface should be parallel with surface directly below float as shown. If adjustment is required, loosen locking screw and turn adjusting nut until float surface is parallel with surface below float. Okay. Loosen lock screw adjusting nut. Invert fuel bowl, and that's the way I got it named. Okay. If adjustment required, loosen lock screw and turn adjusting nut until float surface is parallel with surface below float. Retighten lock screw. Salt.
That's adjustment.
It still won't. It don't do like it says it's supposed to do that.
He's got this one back on now. Got the new needle valve in it and the new washers on it. And these little old bolts here got little washers on them. You see that right there? So you want to be sure and get them back on. And get the old ones off. And they come in the package when you get the kit. All this stuff comes in there. So you won't use all this stuff because it's like I said, they got two or three different styles of these 4-barrels, but they give you everything for all of them. So, but we got that one on, and we're gonna show you when we put the other one on how that thing goes in there. But that cut that airflow off when we was blowing on it a while ago, or when the Alto was blowing on it.
You want to show them that float? How it's supposed to be parallel?
Yeah, let's.
Because I ain't got it bolted down
yet.
yet.
That out.
I ain't got it bolted
The
down.
instructions on that thing says that the float.
You turn it upside down, and you adjust this nut to where it's parallel with the bottom here,
See, the float's parallel with the bottom.
which is actually the top, but it's
Right.
the way it's turned down, it's the bottom.
And if it's not adjusted right, then it don't jive like it's supposed to and hit.
Yeah. See, there's your end of your needle valve right yonder.
Yeah.
And see, it's hitting the valve now,
Mm-hmm.
so that will cut it off. See, I can't blow through it. But
You turn it up.
turn it up, the needle valve drops back down, then you can blow through it. If you push that with your thumb, it seals off again.
Yeah. And that's how you know if it's adjusted right. So we're gonna put that one on, and we'll show you when we get ready to do that other one how we put it in there, or how he put it in. Alto's doing all the work here. I'm just watching.
Just timing one more makes 2 times.
That's right.
We're not going to tear it up because it's already tore up.
That's right. Yeah. All we can do is
We're trying to fix it.
trying to make it better. So it'll have new parts in it anyway, won't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're not gonna mess with all this other stuff because we really, unless we have to, because it's just the indications was, and I'm in total agreement with Alto that float and that needle valve was actually what the culprit was, because the other side was okay. And what would happen is when you turn the ignition on, this side would fill up with gas. It would even come pouring out of here, and it was flooding out. Now what you could do is wait a couple of days till it dried out, and that's what I was doing. I turned the ignition on and tried to crank it real quick, and it sounded like it wanted to crank until it started flooding, and it wouldn't do anything. So I looked in this side, and it just looked totally dry down in there. And like it hadn't been getting the gas at all, and that's what it was. This side stayed wet down in there because it was flooding out like it was. It never had a chance to really dry. But that's the other side we're going to work on in just a minute. He's getting them old washers off and putting new ones on. So we're trying to just replace everything we can without having to tear inside this thing. So we really, Alto, don't think we really need to do that. So to do it, then we'll take it off.
I'm gonna take it over here and brush now. Brush.
That's a good idea to do that. Sticks on there after a while, but this is good enough. This is good enough.
I'm gonna have to scrape them some more. I'm gonna get there for them.
It's a good idea to get all them old washers off as best you can.
Yes, sir.
That's what he did. He had to. These are recessed in there. That's why he's having to dig them some with a knife, because they were that brush over there on the grinder just wouldn't get them out all together. So.
I think we got enough of it.
Yeah, but it will. Like you said, if you don't get them on there, just right, it'll leak. And that's what we don't need.
I got this one right here, though. I ain't got that one.
Oh, yeah. This carburetor wasn't that, and I'll show you when we get to go put it back on the engine. It wasn't that hard to get off. Just looking at it though, it just looked like, man, the guy done do all this stuff, but all this stuff I was looking at was, all this kind of stuff here, whatever this stuff does. I'm not a mechanic, so I'm very far from being a mechanic, but it just looked complicated, but actually in reality it wasn't. There was a hose that went here and one that went here, and just the linkage hooks up over here. There's a ball thing right there. It clips on right there. We'll show you all that when we put it back on step by step how we doing stuff. So.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna put this side back on, and then one of these sides has got shorter screws in there, shorter bolts, and this is the short side right here. So just remember that. And I'll show you how when we get to put this gas line side on. How the one's short and one's long. It's about how much longer is it? It's only about a ½ inch, isn't it? Or a ½ inch maybe? That's it right there.
Yeah, 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the side that the actual where the gas comes in, which is on this side, it actually takes the longer screw, longer bolt.
That hose is in the way.
Snuffy left us.
Yeah. Now the gasket goes on this one right here, ain't it? Just the gasket for that one?
Yeah.
Goes at the top. Goes like that.
Yeah, we're gonna put the gasket on there, and then Alto's gonna change the noodle valve on this one, and
Yep.
we'll show you how we do that. But that's the new gasket that goes on here. That's pretty
We still got to do this.
self-explanatory. What we're gonna do is take the old needle valve out. put the new one in. And then keep in mind that the other one that we just did, that's the one that was causing the problem. So this, hopefully this will be, might be adjusted all right, but if not, we'll just have to adjust it.
This old gasket's got to come off right here.
Would be parallel. That's working better, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was what. That's the problem with. That was the other one. That definitely was the other side of that thing. That's where the whole problem was. That float was out of adjustment, and the needle valve, and which probably we could have gotten by with just one needle valve. But there's no sense in doing that when you got both of them. Go ahead and you're in there anyway. Go ahead and replace both of them. And you're adjusting that screw. It's like a lock nut almost.
Yeah.
Get it locked down, and then the right position. Okay. I think I saw a little piece of trash in there somewhere out there. There we go.
Well, let's see if it.
Give it the blow-on test.
That's good.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. Gasket's on there.
So we're gonna put this out. That's where this is the side. This is the side where the gas comes in. This right here goes to the regulator, gas regulator, and then the gas line comes in from the fuel pump and hooks into the regulator, and this hooks into the other side of the regulator. And that's the gas line that comes around. It goes in this side of the carburetor, and you see this little line right here. That's where it feeds that tube. That's where it feeds the other side over here. That's where the gas comes from over there. So
We didn't do this.
got to get all them old pieces of washers off of there. They've been on there a while. I don't think this carburetor's ever been into. Like I say, this is a 1989 Southwind Motorhome 460 engine that this came off of and is going back on, and all the indications were on stuff we were looking at on the internet. In fact, this kit that we bought, it was listed, and I'll show you that now. It says applications for Ford 1983 to 1987, and a Mercury 84 to 85. So that's the kit that comes with it, and you have to pick out what you need for yours, which is what we did. So like I said, we're not going to try to go and replace everything unless we have to. If we do, then we'll have the stuff, and we're going to hope this will solve the problem. I think it will. So now, like I say, it was running good, and then all of a sudden it was cranked one day because I tried to keep it running, about once or twice a week, and I crank it and run it for about 30 minutes, and I cranked it one day, and it was a little rough getting started, but it got going, and then it just kept slowing down, and finally it just stopped. And I tried to crank it, and it didn't want to cooperate. It wouldn't crank. So I tried. I just kind of got disgusted with it and left it like it was, and went back and tried it later, and it still wouldn't crank. And I kept smelling gasoline, and that's when I took the breather off, and I turned the ignition on. I was going to check it and see if it was firing, because I didn't realize that it was a carburetor. I was thinking I had a firing problem, so I had to take the breather off to get to the coil, and trying to check that. And when I did, I turned that ignition, boy, and this side of the carburetor just filled up with gas, and like I said, it was pouring out right here. It pouring out right there. And so that's what Alto's first suspicion was, that the float wasn't closing. The needle valve wasn't closing or doing what it's supposed to do, and it was just letting that gas run on in there, and that's what it was. So if y'all got, the only reason we're doing this is in case y'all have some of the same problems with it flooding out like that. And let's see, I think we got one. There it is, right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get it started in there.
There it is.
You know what we did?
So the gas comes in, fuel line, it comes in here. I just left that on when I took this thing off because I couldn't get to this right here that well, and so I'd already had this off over here once, so I figured I'd just take that off from the regulator and just leave that on there. But that's where it comes in, and that rod, so that rod there, that tube there, feeds this side of the carburetor.
Yeah, we got to put them washers on over there.
All right, we got the other side on there now. There's a little old, so you don't miss it. Now, right where this fuel line right here goes in, there's an O-ring, and it's usually, this one was stuck up in there. It wasn't actually on this tube, so be sure to look for that before you put that back in there, and because they provided one in all this stuff they give you, they provided an O-ring for that. So be sure and get the old one out and put the new one in. Alto caught that a while ago. The old one might have got by, but it's probably as old as this thing is. It's probably a little brittle. But then there's not any indication of one on this side, I don't think.
We didn't take that one out.
It didn't come out, and I don't know if it'll come out. So if it starts leaking there, we'll know what it is anyway. So I think it'll be all right. Be sure, I want to show you one thing now. If you, on the bottom here, this little lever right here, let me find it with my finger, there it is. That's got to go under that adjustment screw right there. So when your linkage works and everything, it pushes up, and that's a diaphragm right in here, inside here. And we was having a little trouble getting the bolt started, the top bolt started, and that's what it was, is this little lever right here. Let me see if I can get it with my finger.
You can't move it now?
Yeah, that lever.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Right there. With my finger. There it is. It was riding on the outside of the nut there. See, and it's got to be right on the bottom of it. And that's why it wouldn't start. It was holding it right here. It was holding it back. So we got that all squared away. And she went down tight.
I don't know how much Ron's gonna have in this carburetor, but there's my hourly labor rates right there.
Oh, I think we need to go ahead and stop now. So.
Well, you laughed a while ago, so I know it's $75.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hourly rates, regular 24, 30 if you wait, 35 if you watch, if you help. I owe
50, you.
I'm owe more than 75.
Yeah, 50 and 75. Now, you hadn't already worked on it, so you clear on that 60.
Well, that's good there. So if you work on it, yeah, I hadn't done anything. I hailed something a while ago, so if I don't know. He may let me go on that. So I like
Hey,
that.
Lord.
I like that.
All right, they both of them locked down. I think that's it, Ron.
It's like it was when I brought it in, except it's got newer parts. And I do have. Let me go get it over here. This is the plate. This is the plate gasket that goes on the bottom, but this actually, the old one is actually still on the engine, and it just fits right in here like that. So I'll take the old one off, and we'll put this one down, and then set the carburetor on it. So, but it's all we got to do now is put that thing back together on the engine, and that's the breather, where the breather goes, and that's the gasket for that. That's not a big deal there. That's why they don't put one in it. So, we've got on this side here. There we go.
It'd work better probably if I turned it over.
So from all indications are, that's hopefully going to solve the problem of flooding out like it was, and we won't have to do anything else. But if it does, we got the rest of the parts if we need them. So we got some extra gaskets and all. Like I said, there's different applications, so they have to put different parts in there and everything. So next thing y'all see is it going on the motor. So y'all stay with us. All right, folks, we're back at the motorhome here now. That's the carburetor. So that's where it goes right there. So what we're gonna do? I've had something laying over here to keep the moisture and stuff out of it. But, so that plate right there's got to come off. You can see gas down in there. I can. You see it down in there. So this here plate's got to come off. And the only thing that I got this hose right here that goes on the top. You see I wrote top on it. I made me a little drawing. Alto said, be sure to draw everything now, so that's what I did.
Yes, sir.
I made me a little drawing on everything where everything goes, but I think I can pretty much remember, because it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But anyway, that goes on the top, and then these two right here go on the very bottom. That's the ones I couldn't see. I couldn't see till I got the carburetor loose, and that's when I put them on, but I know where they go now, so that shouldn't be any problem. Then I got this one laying right there that's got to go on, and this linkage right here goes on, and then this linkage right here, that's the one that snaps on. And I got all my stuff up there that goes. I put it all up there. So, and this is that's the regulator right there. That's the regulator. I had to get it loose to get the hose out, but that's where the fuel line comes in right there. It comes up to that regulator, and then the long hose right here, right there. That goes into the regulator this way. And we'll show you how to do that when we get... First of all, I got to get this thing right here off this gasket. All right. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to get this gasket off. Well, it looks like I left a little bit there, so I need to try to scrape that off without getting it down in there. So, let me look at this right here. See if I can peel that off without doing a whole lot of scraping. Got that piece. There's a little piece right there. I don't want to drop it down in that inside there because I got enough problems, or had enough problems. Hopefully this is going to solve the problems. I can get the rest of this old gasket out right here. And then this piece. Yeah, I think this carburetor's never been off that I can tell. Don't you think so, Alto?
Yeah, I don't think it has. And ain't nobody been into it.
And I bought this motorhome used. I'm the third owner. And the previous two owners have taken real good care of it. And I had all the manuals and all the books and everything from all the stuff that was originally put in here, the refrigerator and all that stuff. So that's something you don't see very often, especially with a used cars. You don't, 9 times out of 10 you buy a used car and it ain't got the manual in the glove compartment,
You're right.
So I was real fortunate as far as that's concerned. All right, I think we're doing all right there. So what I'm gonna do is I remember I have one stud that came out. So I just gotta screw it back in. So what I'm gonna do is put my carburetor back on, and there's some, let's see, top front. It says top front right there. Y'all see that? Right there, it says top front. So that means it goes on the top, and this is the front. And you can see this little groove right here. See that groove? It matches up with this groove right here. That's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm gonna drop that on there. Ooh, that was hard, wasn't it?
Terrible.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this other stud up here. No, I can't do that. Yeah, I can. I can take this off.
And all this is done between the driver's seat and the passenger seat inside the motorhome.
Yeah, and we're trying to do everything we can to keep them pulling this whole engine out.
Yes.
Because you can see what kind of mess it might be. So I'm gonna put this stud back down in there now and tighten it down. Or screw it down. I'll tighten it when I get ready to. I'm just gonna hand tighten it right now. All right. So next thing I want to do is I'm gonna try to put this back on there the way it came off. So what I want to do is make sure on the bottom we don't have any pieces of the old gasket on here, and I don't see any. I think Alto got all that off. So I'm gonna set this down and hook these bottom hoses up, because that's the way I got it off. So I can, at least I can see them. I don't know if y'all can see that what I'm doing here or not, but I'm gonna have to lower it down a little bit. Okay. I can feel it. I just got to get it on there.
I can see it on camera.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Down here.
It might
right on the bottom. Let's see. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set this thing in place and then try to hook that thing up. So it may go on differently than it comes off. So I got it. I got it. Got this one over here.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Got that one lined up. That one lined up. Now these are off. No, that one's okay. And that one.
You're only going down.
Well, this is holding it right here.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. It's coming on down. All right. See, this is one side here. Yeah, it's down there. Okay. You see the studs there all down there. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna try to get it back here and hook this thing up. So I'm just gonna have to kind of do it by feel.
See if you can see it right there.
I don't know if it's gonna show or not. Let's see. I got to get this out, up over this.
Yeah, your hand's in the way. It's not going to do that.
Yeah, let me just. Anyway, y'all know where it goes. There's two hoses down there. So I'm gonna get the first one on. Almost. Let's see. Okay, I think this in place, I believe. Let me get the second one on. The second one's this little black one right here, which looks just exactly like this one here.
Yeah.
And that's why I put marked top on this one, because it goes in right here.
Right.
You can see where it goes. So I'm gonna try to get this one on down here now. That was the hardest part. Believe it or not, getting this carburetor off was these hoses back here that you can't see. So I'm just gonna do it by feel and get them on. First of all, I got to get this one. I want to get that big one on there. You have very little room to work back here. Okay. I believe that it might be close to being. Let me get that camera down here.
If they'd have made them a little longer, you could have done it before you put the carburetor on.
I'm gonna look down there and just see what we're looking at right here. All right, I gotta get it set down there first. Okay, yeah, trying to get it to show up. This is in the way here. All right.
I think the light needs to be shining.
All right, there it is.
That way too.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on right here. So I believe I've got it started, but I can't see it. So I'm just gonna wiggle it around and see if I can get it to go on any better. I may have to get my channel locks or something. So what I'm gonna do is try to get that little wire. Go ahead and get it on. If I can, let me see. I believe this one is so tight up against the little one. I may not be able to get the little one on. I may have to put the little one on first. So I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna take the big one back off. Y'all can see what I'm doing there almost.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull that loose. Let's see if I can get me a little more slack on that thing. There it is. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get. All right, we got them figured out. So what the white one that was laying down there, it's right here. It goes. It was a little plug right there. And this thing we just Alto said it looks like it wasn't hooked up to anything. It just sits there, some kind of little. I don't know what it is. Maybe a little filter or something.
Some of the old smog stuff.
Yeah. So we got these two lines here now, and I'm sure that's probably smog too. But this one here has got to go on this black can right here, like that. I know that was pretty tight, so I'm gonna try to get it back. There it is. All right, that one there, and then there's one other one on the other side here, just like it. It's got to go in here like that. I have no idea what these things are. I'm assuming that they're probably something to do with the smog stuff that's on these things. These didn't have as much smog stuff on them as the newer models do now. All right, let's see. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and tighten this carburetor down, and then I'm gonna put the linkage and everything on. So this takes a 7/16. I believe it's a 7/16 socket. Yeah, 7/16. So that's what I had to do. A couple of them came off okay, but I had to take this back one back here. I had to actually, I couldn't use the ratchet, I don't believe, on that. So get all these on. This one right here on this side. Get that one down in there. It's going on them studs. All right, get another one on. All right, there it goes. This is going to be the one that's a little harder because it's kind of out of sight back there. It's raining, but that's good because we inside.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got that one started. All right, I got one more stud to go over here. This one I'm gonna have to try to, I can't get my fingers. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my needle nose.
There you go.
And put that on, just set it on there and hope I don't drop it. Okay, I'm gonna straighten it up with my finger, and I'm gonna get my socket. I'll tell you what, I think I can use my ratchet over here now. Okay.
Need you a little longer extension.
Yeah, I do. I got some. I believe it's going. We'll find out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's going on. Okay. I had another extension here somewhere. It may be in the. See, but we'll get there with this. Like I said, it's really not that hard. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's just, like I said, kind of getting two things. I'm not going to torque that down until I get all of them tight. Do this one over here, I believe.
Kind of wish we had that carburetor that man took off of his motorhome and put a new one on.
Yeah.
Because he wound up, there wasn't nothing wrong with his carburetor.
No, it wasn't. It was this, what was it, alternator?
Yeah, alternator wasn't putting out right.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this off right here till I get this other stud done, because I know where that goes.
I told him when you drain all the power out of the battery, these vehicles are gonna quit.
That's right. And they ain't gonna go nowhere.
Nope, especially that's if your alternator's not putting out.
Right.
Now I have come all the way from Tallahassee to Chipley just on the alternator.
Yeah.
No, it was on the battery. Because the shop over there didn't want to work on my truck because I was out of chipping.
Sure enough.
Yeah. He told me to just hit the road, leave your air conditioner lights off, and it'll go all the way to chipping on the battery. And it did.
Now, I don't know where y'all are from that y'all watching this thing, but it's obvious we from the South. So,
Yeah.
and we ain't ashamed of that at all. But,
Nope.
So if y'all don't understand some of my terminology, that's, ain't no dictionary you can look it up in, I can tell you that. I got one more to take.
Our little jug
This one here is the one I had to use this on. What was that? You heard a joke now?
I heard a joke the other day about rednecks. That's us,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm like that.
No.
Anyway, there was two rednecks walking down the street, and they were meeting each other. Well, one of them had a sack thrown over his shoulder. So this other one got to him. He says, "What you got in the sack?" He said, "I got some chickens." He said, "Can I have one of them?" He said, "If you can guess how many I got, I'll give you both of them." And that seller says, 5. I read that in that Street Talk.
Yeah,
It comes out about every month.
So that guy must have been from the north that was wanting to know.
I reckon.
Not knocking y'all from the north. We just
He just didn't know how many both of them meant.
haven't. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to strip nothing down on these studs, I tell you. But I think we got them. I think we got them all tight. I'm gonna put this back on now.
It looks good.
Put this back on. All right, I'm getting my linkage now. I was wondering about this when I was working on it. You can see this can, and we replaced the temperature sensor in this thing. It's right down here. Y'all can see that right down in there. You can see it's shiny. Alto replaced that several weeks ago, and we was wondering what might hook onto this thing right here. But in looking at it, that's onto the carburetor. So when we got that off, we looked at the back of that, and it's solid. So there's no, it's just all it is just I don't know what kind of thing this is. It's something to do with the linkage that hits up on it. But there's nothing, in case y'all wonder, there's nothing that plugs in on the back of this. It's just a blank stud there.
You might could adjust
There's an adjustment on it, yeah.
It's probably for your idle.
Yeah, I think it is. All right, now this here goes.
On that stud.
It goes right here. It goes on this side, like that, and there's a little old C-clamp that's got to go on there. This is where it gets touchy with these C-clamps, because if you don't clip them on right to start with, they'll flick out, and go somewhere and get lost, and you won't ever find them. So I'm trying to find a needle nose.
Maybe on the other side over. No, see them.
Here they are.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to get this thing without losing it. I'm gonna try to get it clipped on here. I believe I got it.
I think so too. Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's on there. All right, the next thing is the linkage. It clips on right here. Just like that. And then there's a thing that goes on that. It's this right here.
It keeps them coming back off.
Yeah, it keeps coming back off. And what I want to do before I do that is this chain right here. This little chain, if you can see it. This chain has got to go. Where was it? Let's see.
Can't go through the end, can you?
No, and I counted it because I wrote it on my note over here. How many links? Let me look at it here. I noted 5 links that come out of the end of that thing. So I'll know there's 5. So I got to figure out how. See, that's what's boggling me now oh, here it is right here. I'm sorry. Goes in right here. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Goes
in right here. All right. And I'll show you how you adjust that. Right now I'm gonna clip this back on. That's all it does, just snaps on.
Supposed to.
Yeah. Come on now. It's got a hole in the end of it, so that's got to fit over that hole. See that hole? It's got to fit over that hole, and then come around this way, like that. Okay. Then the chain goes in here, and you wonder what holds that chain.
Another clamp.
See that?
Yes.
That's what holds the chain. It goes in there. But I got to get my 5 links, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. So I want to put this down in there, like that.
It just goes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know, it may go in that other side, but I think it's just that one side there, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that holds it. Okay. So that gets that linkage there. The only thing else I got left to do.
There's a line right there that needs hooking up.
That's the line right here. Where?
That gas line.
This
right
one here?
there.
Yeah, it hooks into the regulator.
Yes.
I'm thinking I may have to take this hose off right here to get that on, but I'll show you how this works. But I'm gonna try to do it without it. This is beveled in there, so it goes in like that.
Should be able to start it.
I think we can get it in without having to take all that off. So I got it out that way, so we'll just see.
I believe it started.
I may start it. Let me get my. I forgot what size it was.
Looked like it's lined up pretty good.
Okay, I believe that was
The 9/16, I believe you said.
a half.
Aye.
I believe that's a half. Is that a half? Yeah.
Aye.
So let's see if that's started. I don't want to strip it.
It started, yeah.
Yeah. We'll tighten that on down snug. Then the only thing left is going to be 2 screws that holds this regulator onto a plate, a brace that's right here.
I'm surprised your carburetor not eat up with that ethanol type gas.
I know it.
But they wouldn't have, not a bit of corrosion in that carburetor.
All right. The only thing we got to do now is I got to get these screws in. There's one that goes in here, and one you can't see it. It goes in under here. So I'm gonna get them. That's the only 2 pieces I got left. Usually I got a piece or 2 left over that I can't figure out where it goes. So what I'm gonna do is get my needle nose, and you know I may wind up just to help myself. I may take this hose off. I think I will. All right. So what I've done now, I've got these 2 screws. I'm gonna tighten them down that hold that regulator. Okay, they wasn't very tight to start with anyway. It's just to hold them in place. I'm gonna get this one tightened down. We're gonna give it a smoke test in a few minutes. Okay. All right, now all I want to do is put this hose right here back on. Right here. There we go. I'm gonna tighten that down. See what Alpha's gonna hold that. Hold that here. All right, we're gonna tighten this down here.
Sound like sweet drops of rest there.
It does, don't it?
That's what we called it when we worked out in the rain to get the rest.
You get the rest a little bit, yeah.
Sweet drops of rest. Well, we still need some rain in this country.
Yeah, we do. We had a drought for a long time. All the ponds and lakes just dried up around here where we live, and we got all rain for about a month. I mean, it rained all the time, and it filled them back up. So, all right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna give it a smoke test. What was happening before, as soon as I turned the ignition on, like I say, this side kept filling up with gas and it was overflowing. So we're gonna hope that don't happen when Alto turns the key. Don't turn it to crank it, Dal. Just turn it on.
All right.
Let me hold
You
this.
look down in there.
Hold on. I got some switches up here I gotta turn on. Remember?
Right, that's right, you
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Child safety switches.
Yeah. These switches.
Keeps your child
It's for the battery. It got a auxiliary battery and a main battery, and I turn them off when I'm not out here. So now we should be able to turn that on.
Yeah. Hear it pumping.
That's right. And then before, it would be filled up with gas right now. That whole thing would be filled up with gas. So that looked like it took care of that problem.
I hope so.
All right, so shut it off, Alto, and we'll just for safety's sake, I'm gonna set the
Let's see if there's anything leaking anywhere.
I don't see any. Did you? Turn it back on. We can look at it.
Well, I don't see nothing leaking out. Cause it run long enough to.
Yeah.
All right. What do what now?
For safety's sake, I'm gonna set the breather back on,
All right.
just in case it wants to backfire. It won't blow up in our face. So I'm not gonna hook anything up. I'm just gonna set it on. So
I don't think I mashed nothing.
I'll hook all the vacuum lines up when we make sure it's gonna crank. What do you think? We just need to go ahead and do it. I guess we do probably. Cause ain't much more we can do down in here. I mean, it's,
No.
all right, let's see. Let's see where we're going now. That's the one we replaced. All right, here's one here.
Well, you got one on this side now. A little one on this side too. Right there.
Yeah, that's
So that one goes there.
That's this one here.
Right.
All right, and then we got this one that goes here that you fixed.
Right. There's another piece to it. There was a splice there. That's it. That's
it right there.
Uh-huh.
So let me do this. All right, that goes there.
Yeah, we decided we wouldn't cut it off because it makes it a lot easier to hook it back
Yeah,
up.
absolutely. All right, I'll get this other one over here. Right here, and that one goes right here.
That's right.
All right, got that one on. And then we got
You got your two black ones over
two
there.
black ones over here and one over here. So what I'm gonna do is set that down. If this cranks up at everything, I'm gonna redo this right here and get me some new cable ties and put on there. But I got one more right here that just snaps
It
in.
snaps in right there.
Snaps in. Like that, okay. And then we got these two over here. This one goes here. Okay, I believe I got that one, and then this one goes right here. Oh, come on now. Okay, got that one. All right.
Here's your top right there.
And then we get the top over here. Get the screw in this washer. I hope y'all stayed with us. Well, if you hadn't, you can go back and watch it again. So this whole thing's probably going to be about 30-40 minutes long.
Well, like I said a while ago, this time and one more will make us 2 times.
That's right.
So the second time will probably go a little faster.
All right, so I'm going to let Alto give it the smoke test.
Uh-oh.
I'll turn this off. And just all you got to do is just...
Well, so some of them you got to hold the brake, is that right?
No, you have to.
You don't have to hold the brake?
There you go. All right. Okay.